Any team who wins a top-flight title deserves enormous credit. A league season can be a long, hard slog, and it requires a consistently high level of performances and results. Most football fans will be able to name the recent winners of the world's top divisions without too much trouble. But what about some past winners who have fallen on hard times? Some of these clubs have dropped down their domestic divisions, some have turned amateur, and some have ceased to exist entirely, but all were once the best team in their country for a season or two at least. This 7 is in no particular order, but we've tended to go for clubs from competitive footballing nations. Here are our 7 forgotten title-winning football teams. HVV Den Haag. In the Netherlands, the term the Big Three is used collectively to refer to the country's 3 most successful football clubs, Ajax, PSV and Feyenoord. However, ask most people who the 4th most successful club in Dutch football is, and they'll probably stare blankly at you with no idea. Sparta? Twente? Nope, it's HVV Den Haag. Founded in 1883, they were the most successful club in Holland prior to the First World War, winning 10 league titles. However, the amateur outfit haven't played top-flight football since 1932, and now play in the Dutch 5th tier. Dresdner SC. A handful of German champions have suffered harsh falls from grace. A couple are now defunct, and even the 2nd most successful club in the country are currently plying their trade in the 2nd tier. The side we're focusing on here though is Dresdner SC. 2-time title winners in the 1940s, Dresdner can trace their roots back as far as 1874, giving them a case as continental Europe's oldest football club. The club were dismantled in 1950 after a controversial East German Cup final, and replaced as a force in East German football by Dynamo Dresden. Reformed in 1991, Dresdner SC climbed as high as the 3rd tier, but they have been in Germany's 7th tier for the last 5 years now. RC Roubaix. 2 of the most successful clubs in French football are unknown in the modern game. RC Roubaix are one of them. Hugely successful in the early 20th century, Roubaix won 5 league titles between 1901 and 1908. That tally puts them just 1 championship behind PSG, but that margin will only increase over time, as whilst PSG spent £200 million on a player, Roubaix were dissolved in 1964. Dumbarton. Regarded for a long time now as something of a closed shop, Celtic and Rangers have won 102 out of 121 Scottish League titles over the years. The Glasgow Giants have proved hard to topple, but one of the sides to have finished above them both is Dumbarton. The small town team hailing from the county of Dumbartonshire won the first ever Scottish title jointly with Rangers in 1891, but won it outright the following season with a 2-point lead over 2nd place Celtic. Today, the team competes in the Scottish Championship with an average attendance narrowly above 1,000. Torpedo Moscow. Russia's 3 most successful football clubs all hail from Moscow, and so does the 5th. Whilst the top 3 are fairly well known and can still be found competing in the Champions League and the Europa League, the 5th now play their football in Russia's 3rd tier. They are Torpedo Moscow. Founded in 1924, the club have won 3 league titles and finished as runners-up 4 times. Their golden era came in the 1960s and 70s, when they were a force even in European competitions. Russia's greatest ever outfield footballer, Edward Streltsov, spent his entire career with Torpedo, and they have since named their stadium after him. Bella Vista. Much like Scotland, Uruguay's top flight is one which is dominated by 2 teams, namely Penarol and Nacional. Only 8 other teams have won Uruguay's Primera Division, and one of them is Bella Vista. Unlike many in this 7 who won their league titles in the early 20th century, Bella Vista's title came in 1990, when they romped home with a 7-point margin. The club were relegated from the top flight in 2013, and now find themselves in Uruguay's 3rd tier. Their most famous player was Jose Nasazi, who captained Uruguay to glory in the 1930 World Cup, and they also named their stadium after him. Pro Vercelli. Historically, there has always been a good level of football in Italy, so a team with 7 Italian titles deserves some credit. That haul makes Pro Vercelli more successful than the likes of Roma, Lazio, Napoli and Fiorentina. The club won all their league titles between 1908 and 1922, but were relegated from the top flight in 1935. The rise of the Milan and Turin-based teams came as a heavy blow, and in 1948 they were relegated from Serie B2. They made their return to Serie B after 64 years away in 2012, and they're currently 18th in Italy's 2nd tier. So that's it for our 7. Thanks for watching, let us know in the comments if you'd like to see a part 2, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to HITC Sevens.